Princess Anne crowns Catherine. It was never meant to happen this way. The hall was silent, so silent you could hear the sound of fabric shifting, of breath held like a whispered secret. The crown, heavy and ancient, glimmered in the soft light. Princess Anne stood there, her hands trembling, eyes fixed on Catherine. And in that instant, the world felt like it was holding its breath. No fanfare, no rehearsed speech. Asterisk, just a choice that would change everything. Asterisk, do you understand what this means? Anne's voice cracked slightly. Asterisk, Catherine, standing so still, nodded. Her face was calm, but those eyes were filled with something unspoken. Fear, maybe, or the weight of history pressing down. Asterisk, it had started days before, in the shadow of a palace that had seen centuries of secrets. Anne had always been the strong one, the quiet force, the woman who'd watched kings and queens rise, stumble, and fall. But this time, the monarchy was trembling in ways no one could predict. Rumors of betrayal, whispers of scandal. And at the heart of it, Catherine asterisk, she's not ready. The advisors had hissed behind closed doors. Asterisk, she's too young, too untested. Asterisk, but Anne had seen something in Catherine that no one else could. A fire, a resilience, a quiet strength that didn't need to shout to be heard. Asterisk, and maybe, just maybe, Anne knew that if she didn't step in now, the crown would fall into hands that would destroy everything. It was a cold evening when Anne called Catherine into the library. The fire was burning low. The room smelled of old leather and secrets. Asterisk, Catherine, Anne said, her voice steady but her eyes sharp. Do you know why I've called you here? Asterisk, Catherine shook her head, but she already knew. You could see it in the way her breath quickened. Asterisk, this family, Anne continued, is built on duty, on sacrifice, on doing what is necessary even when the world doesn't understand. Asterisk, Catherine looked down. Her hands trembled slightly. Asterisk, you've seen what's coming. Anne said, you know the storm that's about to break, and I need to know, are you ready to step into the fire? There was silence, a long heavy silence. Asterisk, finally, Catherine spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. Asterisk, I don't know if I'm ready, but I know I can't walk away. Asterisk, Anne's gaze softened. For a moment, she wasn't just a princess. She was something more human, a sister, a guardian. Then you are ready, Anne said. Asterisk, the next days were chaos. Behind the scenes, the royal household spun like a hive of nervous energy. Papers were burned. Plans were made. Some fought against it, calling Anne reckless. Others whispered that maybe this was the only way to save the crown. Asterisk, and Catherine trained herself in silence. She learned the weight of history, the language of diplomacy, the art of keeping your heart steady when the world around you is falling apart. Asterisk, but even as the days ticked closer, doubt lingered. Asterisk, what if they don't accept me? Catherine asked one night, alone with Anne. Asterisk, Anne looked at her, and for once, there was no mask. Asterisk, then they will learn. The night of the crowning was not a coronation. It was something darker, something more intimate. Asterisk, there were no cheering crowds, no cameras, no parades. Asterisk, just the quiet echo of footsteps in the great hall, and the weight of eyes watching from the shadows. Asterisk, Catherine knelt, her breath shaking. The crown was brought forward. It was older than both of them, older than the wars and the politics, older than the whispers that haunted the palace walls. Asterisk, Anne held it in her hands, and for a moment, you could see the hesitation in her eyes. Asterisk, the burden, the cost. Asterisk, do you swear to protect what must endure? Anne's voice rang out. Asterisk, I swear. Asterisk, do you swear to carry this, even when it breaks you? Asterisk, I swear. Asterisk, Anne's hands lowered, the crown touched Catherine's head. Asterisk, and in that instant, everything changed. The news broke the next day like a storm. Some celebrated, some raged. Asterisk, some said Anne had gone too far. Asterisks, but Catherine stood before them. No longer just a woman, but something else entirely. A symbol, a warning, a promise. Weeks passed. The world moved on, but not really. Inside the palace, the old rules began to shift. Catherine made decisions that Anne never could. She spoke with a quiet authority that cut through the noise, and people listened, but not everyone approved. There were still those who whispered in the dark corners of the palace, plotting, waiting. They wanted to see her fail. Asterisk, and every night, when the halls were quiet, Anne would sit by the window, watching the moonlight on the crown, wondering if she had made the right choice. You saved me, Catherine said one night, approaching Anne. In the dim glow of the hallway, Anne looked at her, a faint smile on her lips. No, Catherine, I gave you the fire. The saving, that's up to you. Asterisk, there was a silence between them. A silence heavy with understanding. The climax came, faster than anyone expected. Asterisk, a betrayal from within, a leak of information that threatened to destroy everything they had built. The crown, Catherine's very position, was under attack. Asterisk, in the dead of night, Catherine confronted those who sought to remove her. Asterisk, the room was tense, every word a knife. Asterisk, you think I don't see you, she said, her voice low but deadly calm. You think I don't understand the games you play. They tried to silence her. They failed. Asterisk by morning, those who had plotted against her were gone, and Catherine, though shaken, was stronger than ever. Anne watched her that day. Pride, mixing with something deeper. Fear, maybe. Or the knowledge that one day, Catherine would face trials even Anne couldn't shield her from. Asterisk, you've become something I never imagined, Anne said softly. Asterisk, Catherine smiled. But there was sadness in her eyes. Asterisk, because you believed I could. The aftermath was quiet. The storm had passed, but the echoes remained. The palace stood taller, prouder, but the crown it was heavier now. Asterisk, Catherine walked the halls with the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders, and yet, there was a light in her eyes, a determination that nothing could shake. Asterisk, Anne, too, found peace. Not in glory, but in knowing that she had done what needed to be done. Asterisk, the world will never know the full story of that night. Asterisk, the night when a princess crowned a future queen, not with ceremony, but with defiance. Asterisk, not with tradition, but with belief. Asterisk, when they look at you, Anne once said, they see what they fear, but I see what we need, and maybe that's the truest crown of all. Asterisk, Catherine still wears it, not just the crown, but the responsibility. Asterisk, and when you see her now, standing beneath the weight of it all, you can almost hear the whisper of that night. Asterisk, do you understand what this means? Yes, she does, and so do we. Asterisk.